Oh, also, did you share the link?
We're live.
We're live, but did
No,
you
I
share the
haven't
link?
shared the link. I'm doing it now.
Well, it's
Hey
time
guys,
to do that.
and welcome to a new episode of C&C Bros. We have pretty on point reviews and impressions of new products, specifically for the Switch and Horizon and Logan, because I literally just got back from seeing Logan about 3 hours ago. Actually, 2 hours ago. I take that back. And it was good. It was very good. But we'll get to that. So how's everybody been this week?
Uh, definitely tired.
I feel ya. What about you,
Yeah.
Shellie? What you been
Yeah.
up to?
Tired.
And good old Beham.
Got a throat thing.
Bronchitis.
So excuse my coughing if you hear it.
Sucking too much dick.
Wow.
Only way I know how.
But yeah.
Literally,
So-
just licking the tip would be sucking too much dick.
What's been going on with me is I'm taking the GRE soon, so I've been studying or starting to study, like getting that whole process done, and it is, boy buddy, it is rough. And that's essentially everything that's else has been going. This is some other stuff has been happening. We'll talk about that another time when I'm ready to discuss. I didn't mean that to be as mysterious as it sounds. But yeah, let's go ahead and start off with Shellie's first impressions of Horizon, because I think that that's something that most people want to hear about besides Zelda.
All right, Ethan. Let me have a thing for my throat.
You got some cough drops. Some of the Ludens.
It's got to be cough drops, right? It couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just be like, drinking shit.
I mean, I did have some lemon water with honey and stuff. That only helps so much, though. Oh, but yeah. Horizon, my impressions. I love this game!
How does it feel?
It feels really good. There are actually like lots of weapons. I'm a level 17. I think I'm only like gameplay wise, I'm only like 9 or 10 hours in. Because I don't play for like long stints of time. I only play for like, I don't know. I do like 2 or 3 missions and I get out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. That's just, I don't like sitting there for that long. But I had to have only fought like 7 or 8 enemies out of like 24, because I just got a trophy for overriding like 7 of them. These enemies are aggressive as fuck. Because I heard like difficulty wise, when you raise the difficulty, it doesn't affect like how the robots interact with you. It just reduces the amount of
damage.
supplies. No, it just reduces the supplies.
That's actually kind of bad. The good and bad at the same time, because like if you're an inexperienced player, like,
well, I mean, you wouldn't start on very hard.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of like The Last of Us and like Grounded, but like that did adjust. Like, but Grounded mode in The Last of Us, I feel like.
No, but Brian,
Was
there were
like-
like supplies everywhere in this game. Like,
Oh,
you're picking up branches, you're picking up like herbs and shit. Like herbs are like what gets your health back up. There are herbs everywhere, bro. Like you just picking this shit up and then you can just eat them.
I
Is it
imagine if
Capcom?
you're fighting robot alligators.
That robot alligator scared the shit. Like I'm seriously just swimming across. I'm like, whew, at least there are no robot alligators or anything in this game. And then 10 seconds later, a robot alligator, I just see its eyes peering through the water. I'm like, shit. So I end up fighting it. I kill it, and then 3 more come up, but I just run away. So I'm like, nah, I can't fight 3 of them right now. I don't have enough ammo for that.
Did you hear me?
What'd you say?
I say go FSU.
Oh.
I almost went there. I came very close.
But yeah, they're like all different types of arrows. Some arrows that like tie them down, electricity, like blowing up shit. Traps are useful, as I learned fighting two sawtooths.
Do they slow them down, or what do they do?
Sometimes they'll paralyze them. They're freezing traps. Fire ones catch them on fire to burn for a certain amount of time.
So is this an action RPG?
It is most definitely like that, but it's like definitely an RPG because there's a skill tree and everything.
Okay. Because I was wondering, I was like, how does it deal with like damage calculation? And do you just do like, is there like a health bar, or do you just like attack a certain spot?
They have a health bar because you'll see it like right above their character model.
No wonder you said it shits on 15.
I guess right now the most difficult enemy I fought was one in the cauldron. The cauldrons are like dungeons. And when you get all the way through a cauldron, you unlock the ability to override like 4 different robots in that area. So I'm able to ride like 2 different types of robots.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a lot of strategy going into this shit. Because the last time I just played, I was like, oh, okay, well, before we go on stream, I'll just jump in Horizon. I'm just riding along on my robot because I'm gonna just hunt some like regular animals because you can use boars and turkeys, foxes, and stuff like that, and their bones and fatty meats to beef up your carrying capacity and everything.
Beef up.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. I did not do that on purpose.
I know you didn't do it on purpose. You're not that clever.
I'm pretty clever. So I'm tracking down this fox. I see it, and then I see this yellow light. It's a watcher looking at me. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just one watcher. Then a sawtooth comes out of nowhere. 3 leghorns are up there on the mountain. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are there like 4 different types of animals right here?
Let me interrupt you for a second. Is George asleep?
Nah, I'm here.
No,
Okay, I just haven't heard a peep out of him.
that's because he's taking it all in.
Take it all in. Take all of it. Every inch.
I haven't even talked about the story.
I actually got distracted by some stuff on Twitter.
I really like the story so far. There's some plot twist in there. Most definitely that I didn't see coming. I'm not too terribly far in the overall story just because I do a lot of side quests. I really like the side quests. They're
How do they vary?
some just like tracking down a person to just to find them. Others clearing out some bandits from a camp. I really like those because the last one I did, I didn't get hit, and that felt awesome. I was just going through doing headshots with arrows. Some you have to get certain parts from animals because the robots have different parts. Oh, also the parts from the animals help craft. So yeah, that helps too. You can also just buy them from merchants, but you don't always want to do that. But you can also sell a bunch of valuable stuff that you get from there. So.
That sounds like a fun-ass game.
I really don't like open world games that much. I love this game.
I have a very strange relationship with them because that was something I wanted to talk about, I think, and I just didn't put in the topics, but I'll go ahead and mention it. me and open world games like have a strained relationship because like some of them are really good, and you get lost in them, but all of them have like the same tropes and like shitty like consistent like themes, and I don't know, man. Like, oh yeah, and I think it comes with the territory, but that just makes me wonder if like it's a game design flaw or if it's just an open world game flaw. Like I don't know like what to believe, and because I haven't played a lot of them, obviously, because like I don't like a lot of them. Like,
Well, I mean, The Witcher. You like The Witcher 3, right?
I like The Witcher 3 because it was interesting and offered variation. But
Exactly.
once I
That's
got
an open
like the
world game done
gist,
right.
but once I got the gist of The Witcher 3, it became more of a chore than it did fun, because like once I got the mastery of combat and like I figured out like how I played my playstyle and I wasn't experimenting, it was just me going through like the way that I fight. And the only time I'd have a challenge is if I was fighting like people that like had really good armor or like severely over leveling me, and I'd have to like jump around. Like that was just like my combat style was like to evade and use magic, evade, use magic. I had fights that lasted about 20 minutes.
If you like
sometimes.
evading and using magic, you'll love Horizon. You do a lot of dodging
But
here while trying not to get killed.
yeah, like I don't know. That was the thing about The Witcher 3. It was like really varied and it was big, but it also felt like it was clunky, like Skyrim kind of clunky, and I don't like Skyrim.
No, this isn't clunky. This is very polished.
And that's what I'm excited to hear about it. And like 15 was a good game mechanically. Well, it had its issues, but like for the most part, playing 15 was gratifying. But open world aspect of it is like you go, you do hunts, and then you like find items, and that's it. And like that there's no variation to it. And like sometimes you'd like go do like some stealth at like a base, but then like the stealth is really hard to do in that game because it's not meant to be a stealth game, and then you end up getting caught, and then it becomes like a fucking
guns a-blazing.
Yeah, like just going in like swords everywhere
I admired
swords,
Final Fantasy 15, The Phantom Pain.
And there are definitely some parts in here where you don't want to go in guns blazing.
Yeah, and like I appreciate like Phantom
like,
Pain was a
you can
good
scout
game.
out an entire area and like come up with a strategy and shit. Like when I was fighting two sawtooths, I set up like these tripwires that have electricity in them because they're weak against electricity. I set up like 6 of them across the thing before I even like actually started to fight them.
And that's the thing, like that's why I love Phantom Pain so much, because I love Metal Gear Solid 4. Like that's my favorite in the franchise, like to be completely honest with you. But I love the variation in Phantom Pain because you can plan out an attack like very well, and it's extremely open-ended and strategic. And I love gameplay like that that's polished, and gives you options.
The Fox
and varies, like, and it varies up the gameplay a bit. Like the only thing I don't like about Phantom Pain is that like because it's a stealth game, your objectives and your side quests are very varied. Not very varied, but very like repetitive. But that's an open world game like trait, I think, that like you end up repeating the same type of side quest, or it's basically like the best example I can give is like in Final Fantasy 15. There's actually only like I think 8 or 9 people that give you side quests, and all of your like there's like 80 plus side quests in the game. But
13.
The thing about it, yeah,
there's
13 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 13
like
people, and then like as you get new side quests, it's just the same people giving you different variations of the same side quest, and I hate that shit.
Now,
that's awful.
Occasionally, one of the recurring side quests you get will lead you through dungeons, and that's how you acquire more royal arms, and those lead into other things like with taking pictures for Viv, when you have to go up and take pictures of the volcano, and you go to the Rock of Ravatar. That leads into there's a hunt there, and there's also royal arms waiting at the top of that young volcano.
Yeah,
Not,
and
I
I
mean,
appreciate it.
I wasn't saying
No,
that to
no,
justify it. I'm just like, it's a breath of fresh air from having to
and
like
I
do the
and I
same thing.
agree. Like finding the joy about open world games, and I'm sure you'll tell us about this in Zelda. Like that seems like something that the Breath of the Wild does very well, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Is finding something you don't expect and getting around a problem with ingenuity because you don't know where you're supposed to go. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. But just discovery. Like that's the joy of an open world game, in my opinion, is discovery.
Oh yeah. Um,
Um,
now that you're saying that, anywhere that you want to go in here, you can go. If you see it, you can go.
and I love that shit. And that's not. Mm, and I also want to talk about like I'm not tangenting, but like sandbox games are like the bane of my fucking existence.
They've
I
they've
hate
recurred a lot, so I understand that.
I hate sandbox games, and I will say that with a straight faced. I hate GTA. I hate Saints Row. Isn't
I hate Watch Dogs.
what we I honestly would not like Watch Dogs. I don't really like
Well,
Assassin's Creed
I mean,
anymore.
the first one didn't even have dogs. Like, what were you?
There's
Like,
dogs in the second one.
there's dogs in the second one. Yeah,
Damn.
Like
yeah. I saw the
DAW.
trailer and I
Would've
was
gotten
like,
two.
"Yo, 10 out of 10. Watch Dogs 2 has actual dogs. Let's go."
7.5, no actual dogs.
I mean,
But I think, and the reason I don't, I like, I'm assuming that I don't like sandbox games is because like they were made, and from a design point, like I can respect this. They were made, to be fun and to just experiment and dick around. They weren't made with like a goal in mind. Like there wasn't like a specific direction they wanted to lead the player. They just wanted to create a simulator and a scenario for a player to go nuts in, and that's where GTA is like. That's like the fun of GTA. Like you can take on the role of a gangster and just be a gangster uh, throughout GTA. And then you've got like Saints Row, which is just like I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be, but it's like so open ended and ridiculous that like that's the drive of like that's like the draw to people is that like you could just do these crazy shitty stupid things. There's no rhyme or reason, but you just can, and it's fun. I suppose to some people, I don't think it's fun, and I don't think it's good because there's no. I'm the type of gamer, and this like goes into like me preferring like a good story in a game. Like I'm fine with having a story that's just fine and serviceable, but like if you have a reputation for having a good story, or story heavy games that where like, it's an important plot part, and you just decide fuck it, I'm going to focus on gameplay and not story, like Final Fantasy 15 did, then I'm going to get pissed because I expect something more, and I enjoy having like a good story in my game because like I derive entertainment from that stuff. I like good stories like Uncharted 4. I like good stories like The Last of Us. Like things you could really enjoy and savor, and that like are seamlessly are married to the gameplay within those experiences, and like it's all like one happy bundle. And sometimes Final Fantasies would do it, sometimes they won't. But sandbox games like this don't deliver that aspect of it. It's like it's strictly gameplay. It's strictly for the novelty of it, and that novelty dies very quickly for me. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think Assassin's Creed is like the only kind of sandbox game that I really do enjoy, truly.
And I don't even like Assassin's Creed. I can't do it.
I mean, I just like the stealth aspect of it. I like being slick, and it's new.
I only played an hour Syndicate. I still haven't picked it back up since.
But yeah,
it feels so clunky.
How far are you into Horizon, Shellie?
Probably like 10 hours in, 10 or 9.
That's good. And what would you say has been your favorite moment with it so far, or like your favorite experience or thing in it?
Mm, probably that battle
Now,
in the cauldron, just because that was like the toughest one.
yeah.
Because they drop you in the cauldron. You go through it for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, and you come to the end where you have to fight this. I don't know what. I honestly can't remember the name of it, but you fight this thing. It's giant as fuck, and then like three other watchers come out. So you're fighting that and three other watchers, and you have no places to hide. So you just have to like damage the thing while God, it was hard. But I didn't die.
But did you die?
But I died an hour ago from running into like 7 of the 4 types of machines though.
I just all this talk about open world games is making me want to play the Phantom Pain. Like, I know it's crazy. I thought I'd never play it again.
I'll be there soon. Gotta get Drew through Peace Walker.
Fuck that game.
Oh, also, when you override machines, well, like the 2 that you can ride, I love just riding around and shit on them. But when you override them, like if you get in a fight, they'll help you fight. And then there are bigger ones where you have to damage them like a sawtooth. If you paralyze them, you can override them, and then they'll fight for you.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
you can
Kind
use
of
that
like
to your
Shadow of
advantage.
Mordor.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Also, a new Shadow of Mordor game is coming to our PS4s in 6 months, and I'm just
Middle
like,
Earth Shadow of War.
I don't believe them is getting delayed.
no, it's getting no. I don't know. It
Dude,
apparently it's
every
been in
game is
development
delayed.
for a long time. No one just said anything.
It's
Like,
getting
'cause no one
delayed.
cared.
Like
I don't think so.
I don't know, probably like 4 of the games on the Switch are getting delayed. Guarantee you. And they don't
My
need
thing
that.
is, the sad thing is that, like, when I heard that it was announced, I was like, and they said that, like, you can fight Sauron and different enemies, or like important enemies in the Lord of the Rings universe in this, because they're making a new Ring of Power, because like that was the thing. It's totally non-canon, by the way, but which I don't really care.
I mean, I figured.
Whatever. But like they're making a new Ring of Power, because this is basically like a prequel to everything in the series of Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, all right, sure, why not? As long as they have actual boss fights and not a final boss that's 3 quick time events.
Wasn't 13-2 great?
Fuck that game.
I like that one. I didn't play
Japan
it.
liked that one. Japan gave it a 40 out of 40 on Famitsu.
Famitsu?
Famitsu? I thought it was Famitsu.
Gaijin?
Yeah. Yeah, that got a 40 out of 40, and I was just like, nope, don't like this Pokemon mechanic, don't like it, nope.
But time travel games. You played Dream Drop.
I played Chrono Trigger.
You did also play Chrono Trigger.
I'm playing
love
World of
Chrono
Final
Trigger.
Fantasy. I do like Chrono Trigger. It's all right, but it is not my favorite RPG, and I think it's overrated as fuck. It was good in the sense that, like, as a SNES game, it was huge and ambitious, but I still think that 6 is the better game. I also what was I gonna say? Fuck. It had something to do with Chrono Trigger and time travel. I don't know. That game had that game had like a final boss fight with like nothing but quick time events, and it was bullshit. And I got really mad. Matt watched me beat that game, and he was as mad. He was like as confused as I was, because I was just mad at that point. But he's like, "Why? Why would they do that?" I was like, "Because they didn't want to finish the game."
We still talking about Shadow of Mordor or
Yeah.
13-2?
We're talking about Fast Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
They didn't watch me finish that game. But I don't know. I'm getting ADHD. I lost my train of thought. What am I playing? That's what it
You're
was.
playing Berserk because you
I'm
don't
playing
love
Berserk
yourself.
and I'm playing World of Final Fantasy, and I'm mad because my Vita is currently like, every time I play it for like longer than 15 minutes, eventually like the Vita gets really hot in the back, it doesn't get hot
Yeah, it
in
does.
actuality. Inside it does, I guess, but
Yeah, it
like
does.
it's about as warm as my phone would be if I've had it in my pocket.
That's not good.
You may want to get a new Vita.
I'm
Or at
gonna
least a new battery.
call support Monday and just ask them if they can like replace the battery or something, because like
Ask
it's
them to replace
ridiculous.
the whole thing.
World of Final Fantasy just might be pushing you to the limit.
No, because it did it with Persona 4 like 4 months ago.
Bro, Persona's
when
lit.
But like it didn't do it before. I think it's just the battery issue because this is a launch one, and I looked up.
Just get a new Vita, because when my PS4's HDMI broke, I called Sony and they sent me a brand new PS4.
Yeah, I'll call them. I just don't know if they'll like do anything since I bought it used.
Oh yeah, you need like proof of purchase and stuff. Yeah, no.
I didn't need a proof of purchase. I just gave them the serial number and there we went.
That's just what you have to tell people.
Exactly.
Maybe I can get like a receipt from your GameStop if you want to send it to me. I did buy it at your GameStop. You think you can get me that proof of purchase?
No.
Why?
Because it won't have the serial number on it.
I physically wouldn't be able to do that because of how long ago you bought it, and because of how much stuff you bought since then. I wouldn't even be able to pull that up in your account transaction history.
That was the last thing I bought there.
It's overall, like, it's not store specific. So if you buy things like at our store, but then go and like buy something in Mobile or Atlanta, that adds on. So yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully
it's
it works out.
For the sake of like linked accounts,
because I can still play it like against my wall, like if it's plugged in. But I'm still mad because now I can't play it at work anymore. So I've been playing Fire Emblem Fates at work. But yeah, I'm playing Fates. I'm playing World of Final Fantasy, which has a Pokemon mechanic, but that's a fun Pokemon mechanic.
I mean, everybody's chibi.
What is it? Too much water?
No. Like 13.2 had a stupid Pokemon mechanic.
Not enough water.
It was like an unneeded Pokemon mechanic, and then they did away with it immediately.
What was the mechanic?
It was basically you went from 13 where you had like 9 total party members that you could play as, and 6. Excuse me.
I was gonna say 9. What? No.
I was getting confused with 13 the cast members and the actual playable people.
Playable Jill and the bot win.
But yeah, 13 had 6 playable characters, and you could make a party of 3. 13.2 had 2 mainstay playable characters, and then your third party member, you had to catch. And how you caught them was you fought them, and hopefully they dropped a crystal that you could use to like raise them.
The fuck?
And it wasn't like you catch them in Pokeballs, which is kind of like what you do in World of Final Fantasy. You catch them. You actually physically catch them in a prism.
So it was
like
a
Pokeball.
There's nothing quite like feeling like a slave.
Yeah, but like you just you caught them. Hopefully you caught them in 13.2, and like that was how you like based your entire strategy of like switching your roles and paradigms, because like your third slot was dedicated to that role that they were in. Like if you got like a monster that was a commando role, which is an attacker, like it's gonna stay a commando forever. You can't change its role, and that was the bullshit part about it, because like suddenly you're locked into what paradigms you can use and like what abilities your monster knows. And I was like, that adds in a extra layer of bullshit that I didn't have in 13, but because the game's still easy. Like that was the thing about 13.3. You had early access to really good paradigms if you like planned it right. and it made the game so easy.
That's because you solo queued half the game, really. It's like you play in 13.3, it's pretty much like, all right, Lightning, do everything.
Which was good, I think, because that balanced it out, and it also made you feel like a powerful player because it added a greater layer of customization
Brian
that the
said,
13
power
franchise
to the
didn't have.
players. That's what I like.
Shut up. It's that good shit. But in 13.2, it was like you already. It's the same battle mechanics essentially as 13, except that the system was like refined a little bit. Like so it's a little bit faster, a little bit more streamlined, which isn't always a good thing, by the way, because leveling up stats in that game was terrible. But if you knew how to manipulate the paradigm system in the first game, and if you were good at it, coming off of that game out of 13 after platinuming it, and then immediately playing 13.2, I was kicking ass. And that's not because I was overleveled or anything. I just knew how to manipulate the system, and it's very easy to do. And it's made easier by the fact that you can get access to really good paradigms early on, which before you didn't require that much work. It took a lot more work, to do that. But anyway, I'm playing World of Final Fantasy. It's fun. I like it. It knows exactly what it is. It's funny. It's actually surprisingly deep. Not story wise, but combat wise, very strategic, and you got to think about stuff. And like I said, the EXP balancing system is good. I'm also playing Berserk, and I'm almost done with the main story. I think I have 4 or 3 missions left.
Do you know where the game ends?
Right when they're about to get on the boat.
Yeah, it does.
Like right after the Ganishka and Zod, the Zod and Guts team up. But yeah, I'm right up on that because I think I just got to the mission before they enter the city, the port city. The Berserker armor is a man's wet dream. I can't even describe to you how good it feels to play as Berserker armor Guts.
Brian said, "Man, it feels good to be a gangster."
You
have to do all that.
You don't understand, man. Especially when you're playing as a character Guts.
Sounding like that.
Well, when you're playing as a character like Guts and Muso, he's slow. He technically gets faster when he gets the Dragon Slayer, which makes no sense to me. He plays a lot smoother when you're Black Swordsman upwards. But then he gets the Berserker armor, which acts as an extra transformation stage when you go into a frenzy mode. And it is the Berserker armor. It's really hard to steer and control the direction of your attacks. But if you got a single target, or if you just want to take out a cluster of enemies, you could just spam square or triangle, because there's no rhyme or reason to the combos. You don't need to plan out your combos in that state. You just can wreck shop, and it's so fast and it's so gratifying. And how he basically teleports because he's moving so fast. And I already have a setup. I was building up to it because I knew that I was going to abuse the transformation sequence whenever I got it. And all of a sudden, I'm abusing frenzy mode like a motherfucker, and I'm transforming into the Berserker armor with everything. I actually stopped playing the main story so that I could replay old missions and wreck people with it, with really missions that had really hard difficulty and objectives to complete. Because I'm doing I'm collecting all the collectibles throughout the main story, just cause. And then after I do that, I think I'll stop fooling with the game. But it's really fun. The only thing I'll say about Berserk is that no multiplayer, which is stupid, but I understand it. I mean, I know why they did it. It was to keep the games performance faithful, and also like the majority of the time, like how many missions can you actually play with another player when it's only Guts in that area?
Enough.
You know what I mean? Like you can't play through the Eclipse with anybody but Guts. But I don't know. I just I also don't like how, I don't want to say bad the characters are. Like I
But
don't
how
like using,
bad the characters are.
some of them just play really bad, and some of them are really fun. Guts is really fun, but like earlier forms of Guts and getting to the Black Swordsman stage, like especially like where he has like the most options for combat and the most variation, uh, those four earlier costumes are shit, and I hate it. But then you play as like someone like Casca, whose moveset is just it's unfathomable how bad her moveset is, in my opinion, my personal opinion. I hate playing as her. I don't like playing as Serpico because he doesn't hit hard. He's fast and he's a fencer, but I much prefer playing as Griffith as a fencer. I like playing as Guts. I like playing as Griffith. I like playing as Judo. I'll probably like playing as Wild and Zod, but you know, that's it. I don't like really playing as anybody else in that game. Oh no, I take it back. Shirke. Shirke is really fun to play as, but she has almost no moves. She's got 4 moves, and then like strong versions of those moves, and that's it.
The life and times of Muso.
But yeah, like it's a completely serviceable game. Like it makes me like really miss the manga because I realized because of this game that like the anime only focuses on like the angsty parts of Berserk, not really the humor. And like the other, the subtle characteristics and the characterizations of Guts, like the things that make him, you know, like not a mopey angsty like motherfucker. Like he actually has, you know, like a sense of humor and a soul, and he's not just all black and death and destruction. Mostly, but not all. I don't know. Like I really enjoyed the game. I'd give it a solid 7.
A solid 7.
What about you, George? And this is our next section where we talk about George's new toy and his new game and his new obsession.
Oh wait, I get to talk now?
Yeah.
You
For
sure?
as long as you need, buddy.
Really?
Yep.
This is new. Nobody's ever let me speak before.
Yeah, Brian.
Wow. Way to just put it on your boy. I was talking about in general, but okay.
I was being in general.
All right. So, thank you. Bruh. Breath of the Wild is what I live
right, so moving
for,
on.
dog. Exactly.
Go ahead.
So, when I first popped the game in, I didn't think I would be starting Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Oh my god.
But no, I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
You see what happened was
Like the open world aspect is phenomenal, like for games in its series. I mean, I know we talked earlier about how, you know, open world is a formula that's been done over time and time again, but things are cliche because they're overused, and they're overused because, I mean, it kind of works. I mean,
It does for a little bit.
If it didn't work, people would be using it. Yeah, it's a little tired and played out. I kid you not on that. But it works really well for this game. Straight up.
And I was looking at that too.
Yeah. It's hard for me to go right off the bat because I'll have everything all planned out until I'm on the spot. So I think it'd be better if you just ask me questions and then I answer them.
we want you to give your impressions of Zelda first and then the Switch.
How dense is it in terms of content?
Honestly, like, and I'm only like I guess a few hours in. I spent like most, if not all, of yesterday playing. There's a lot going on, but not in the sense that you would think. Like, I won't lie, first 2 hours, I was a little bit like confused because, and I guess this isn't a spoiler because it's like the start of the game. It was,
Spoilers.
it was like some last man on earth kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's this vast world, there's all this stuff to do, but there's not really any people. And the interaction is like minuscule, if present at all, save for old man. That being said, there's like a ton of people to run around and beat up because, who doesn't like that in their open worlds? Um, Much like in most open worlds, there's a bunch of materials you can gather, and you can initially like find spots to cook food in. It's kind of funny because for a bit you can be Ignis.
I
Oh,
heard
God.
about cooking food. What's the cooking food thing?
Okay,
You do use it to restore arts and like grant bonuses, I guess.
yeah. So
Wait, just easier just to eat?
you find ingredients throughout Hyrule, and you'll have mushrooms that restore your stamina because stamina is a separate thing for like dashing, climbing, and swimming, kind of like in Final Fantasy.
Can you increase your stamina?
Yes.
Okay, wait. Why is there a stamina button? Well, a stamina bar in an open world game.
I mean, Final Fantasy 15 had it, and Witcher 3 had it too.
Yeah, okay, again, our point. Why does why is there a stamina bar in open world game?
Not entirely sure.
Brian, the entire
I
point of
think
an open world game is to go around the open world. I want to go as fast as I can. If there's a stamina bar, I cannot go as fast as I can.
I think that's to balance out the game in terms of mobility, though, because like in Witcher 3 especially, if you could stay as mobile as you wanted, like using that stamina bar, then you'd have no trouble doing anything at all, ever. But the way they make it is like, the stamina bar is like dependent on like your magic too, or your magic depending on your stamina. It's not like a separate gauge. So you can't perform like physical actions sometimes, like specific physical actions, if you use a lot of magic, which I never cared about. So, I don't know. I feel like I understand the frustration, and I get it too, because like especially in 15, where I was like, why can't I just run from one point to the next? But then in 15, they also added in an item as DLC though, where it didn't use any stamina when you ran, so you could just infinitely run. So I was like, well, some games just defeat the purpose of it, and they know what they're doing. But why implement it in the first place?
Did you have to pay for that?
No, it was free, but I had to pre-order to get it.
People probably bitched about it.
I mean, is that not the formula now?
I guess.
Yeah. If you scream loud enough, people will fix it or do something at least.
Unless you're Capcom, then it's Kappas all day. But
or Konami.
So ingredients, different properties increase stamina, increase run speed, increase stealth. Stealth is actually like, it's become a vital aspect in the game, and I'll get into that in a bit. There are spicy peppers that you use for ingredients. You can cook them in dishes, and the dishes will like, because you cooked it, like say using a spicy pepper, you have body warmth for when you enter like areas of frigid temperature, and you don't freeze to death, because it's possible in the game to freeze to death.
Yeah.
Weather was made a very big part in the game too. That's where the whole cooking thing comes from. But you can do more than, cook food. You can gather materials like parts of enemies you defeat and whatnot, and bugs, and use those to make elixirs. Elixirs, which, I mean, would pretty much serve similar purposes of food, but it harkens back to when you would have the empty bottle in older games and use those to have potions. in terms of
That's
go ahead.
I was just saying that's interesting how they implemented weather into it though. Like, and that also kind of leads into my question: does your cloth or like your clothing
Yes.
affect your armor or your health?
Yeah. If you're not bundled up when you reach cold temperature areas, again, you will take damage until eventually you freeze to death. I haven't seen if it's possible to overheat. And I have seen in videos that if, a lightning storm is going on, if you are wearing, metal armor, you can get struck by lightning and die.
Well, that's nice.
Monsters are not only more prone, but stronger. I say stronger, different. There are variations of them, and they're more abundant at night, as one would expect. Maybe crossing spoiler territory. Not much of a spoiler, though. I'm gonna leave that at the discretion of the listener.
I already looked up the ending of the game.
Well, not in regards to you. I'm talking about the people. But because Ganon's wrecking everything. There's a on certain nights at midnight, not much unlike the dark hour from Persona 3, a blood moon will show up in the sky. And it's at that point enemies you've defeated will return from the dead alongside more monsters with a little bit of buff to them. So it kind of emphasizes
it's high noon.
Well, quite the opposite.
I know.
It's like if you're familiar with the occurrence of demons in 15, or if you've played Dying Light and never to stray too far at night, it's the same as that. Where I was getting to with stealth, they're making a lot more of Link's mechanics important and viable in the game, because before it was Z target, rolling, swinging. Well, with the incorporation of stamina, sprinting, run speed is a thing. Link can jump now, finally, in a game that's not Smash.
Yeah.
Wait, there was no jumping?
No, it was all auto jump.
You couldn't jump before. It was auto jump, like if you jumped off a ledge, or if there was a certain attack you were doing when targeted, but you couldn't just naturally jump before.
Which really fucked up platforming.
Oh, I've been jumping all day.
Yeah, so he can climb.
He can climb anything.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
Now, whether or not it works right is entirely dependent on you. But
yeah, and that is also affected by stamina. Stealth. Okay, this tripped me out. So at the bottom right, where the mini map is, you'll see, I guess, sound waves, for lack of better proper term. There will be a wavelength. I didn't know what that was at first until I had done some sprinting. It shows you how loud your footsteps are. And that's when I was like, at this point, oh my god, I'm playing the Phantom Pain.
That's in Horizon too.
And so when you crouch walk, your steps also get significantly quieter. You can use it to sneak up on enemies. You don't get Epona in this game,
but she's there.
You can capture horses. That's the thing. Like if you see a horse out in the wild, you can sneak up behind it and then mount it.
Do you just mount it, or do you stick something in its butt? Because every time I override something, it looks like I'm sticking it in its butt.
No, you just mount it. No,
are you feeding it that USB? All of your stash of porn and you're pacifying it.
Tax returns 1972. That's what folder it's in.
With you?
What?
I said, does it fight with you?
It's a horse, of course not. But
I thought maybe it'd fight with you. I don't know.
I mean, I would like for it to.
Does old man fight with you?
I don't mean like fight against you. I mean like fight with you, like side by side. Like,
Nah, I get what you're saying, Shelly. I can't say too much about old man, because then at that point we delve into plot.
Oh, I know.
Then why you ask me?
I just didn't know if he fought with you at all.
Care about spoilers. He wants to spoil
dirty.
Logan for us.
Oh my god! But going on the subject about getting assistance, we were showed before that the game has amiibo functionality, and if you got the Wolflink Midna amiibo from when Twilight Princess HD came out, you can summon Wolflink in game, and he rolls up in there and helps you out with the thing. He'll sniff out stuff and he'll body people for you. What else? Random occurrences where you'll see once you get outside of the starting area and human appearance and interaction actually starts to become a thing, you'll start to see people and you'll stop by to help them because you'll see them getting attacked, and in that case they kind of fight with you, but you're still doing all the work. Side quests are a thing, and the Sheikah slate is crazy.
You mean the Nintendo Switch?
Link's smartphone.
Okay, so tell me about the Switch. Tell us about the Switch, because you're the only one who's touched one.
Oh,
You're the only one who's gonna touch one.
Oh yeah. Oh no, man. Other people do. I saw the pictures.
No, I mean like in this podcast.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Okay, so I said I was gonna do the thing where it's like Biased George gives the nice and detailed review and first impressions.
Do it like a compliment sandwich.
And then Unbiased George, yeah, we get some good, then we got the all right. First compliment. Here's some bread.
Here's some bread.
Yeah, here's some bread. The UI looks wonderful, and its portability is a lot easier on me than I thought it would be, because my biggest concern was that it's gonna be portable, this thing is gonna be kind of like crazy to keep up with, I'm scared to break it. It's not as hard to handle as I thought it would be. I would still be iffy about taking it outside of the house, but all things considered, it's like a $300 piece of equipment,
I wouldn't take it outside the house.
Yeah. Anything that costs that much, I wouldn't really take outside the house unless, like, I was going to bring the dock and play on the TV.
The 3DS and a Vita's are $300 or so.
Yeah, but that's different. You can actually fit those in your pocket.
Yeah, I have more control over the safety of those than I would the Switch. The Switch could fit in the pocket of like the biggest pair of pants I own, but that's it.
You carry it in your ass.
Only way he knows how.
I thought about it.
Wipe your ass.
I've heard stories of people's like Switch screens scratching up from the dock.
Yeah, there was talk about that.
Because like there's no padding there; it's just hard.
Yeah. I was talking to my homeboy about it earlier.
I don't know why everyone's talking about you can charge it with your Mac.
It has
No, you can charge your Mac with it.
Who cares?
Because they have that kind of charger.
Okay, who here has a Mac?
I don't.
Exactly.
I have Mac and
That's what I was just telling her. A MacBook specifically.
Exactly.
I'll stick with my mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. Last bit of bread. Last bit of bread is that the transition is like. Oh, what's up, Justin? You do have a Mac. Last bit of bread is that the transition between dock and handheld is seamless. In fact, it's so seamless. Sometimes it's accidental.
And we move into the bullshit.
Okay, so some things that could be handled. I love the idea. Love the idea of the hybrid console. That being said, I don't feel like Nintendo has taken advantage of that other side of the spectrum they have. Like, the biggest point of it was being, both home console and handheld, but they release it and kind of like try to gear resources towards console level games. Now, what I mean with that is that they could give it a 3DS treatment. They could produce, 3DS level games, upscale them or whatever, and it would be fine because, that's the point. It's supposed to be able to encompass both. Now, the 3DS is still a thing to them. I know they wouldn't want to like do too much to overshadow it. They don't have to kill it, but they can still take like full advantage. They could still take full advantage of what the Switch is capable of without overshadowing the 3DS so much. It wouldn't have hurt to have taken a few 3DS games or maybe even some older Wii U titles, make ports, and drop those out with everything else on release. Because, I mean, we've proven time and again between like 4 systems, nobody has a problem with ports and remasters.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, Zelda's a port.
Nah, simultaneous release.
No, it's a port.
It was made.
It's the Wii U game.
No, it was made for the Switch.
Brian.
In an attempt not to stray from my point, because what I'm saying is, it couldn't have hurt to done more. It couldn't have hurt to had more. Nobody would have been mad if they would have like dropped Mario Maker again, or freaking.
I do feel sorry for people who traded in their Wii though. Well, their Wii U.
Oh yeah, no, that was never going to be my intention to begin with.
They're retarded.
I mean, yeah. And I understand like the hype and buying into it. I really do, because like I've been burned before. I know what it feels like to be like to want something so bad, but then like be so mad that you got it ever.
I'm serious, guys.
It's not even.
This man spent $700 on everything.
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have spent $700 on nothing to begin with.
No,
me.
He bought the Switch.
What did he buy?
Zelda. He bought the Switch. He bought Zelda. He bought a Pro controller. He bought the warranty, and then something happened with his Joy-Con where he put the grip wire like tassel thing on wrong. So he like took a knife to it, and he thought he broke it because it wouldn't come off. So
well, he put it on wrong.
So, yeah, he put it on wrong.
Yeah,
which I hear happens a lot, but he went and bought like 2 more Joy-Cons. So he ended up spending $700.
How do you go?
Just to play Zelda.
Okay.
And he said he's got to return it.
Okay.
Why would you mess up your Joy-Con if you're playing with a Pro controller?
I mean, he was trying out the Joy-Cons and everything.
Okay.
Because you want to play if you spend $700, you want to get $700 worth of your shit.
Well, okay.
That's just being fucking stupid.
Well, not if some of that $700 was.
And he bought 128 gigabyte hard.
Oh, that's so damn fault. He don't need that much memory.
But he said that was only like $60.
Yeah. Understand a few things. Here's my honest to God response. I've been hyped for this thing. I've been ready for this thing. It's all y'all have heard me talk about. Shellie, every time you've said something about it, I have yelled back in your face. But understand, I am not spending $700 on this thing day one.
Oh no! Oh,
By no
absolutely not.
means.
Like that would be one of the biggest like flops and wastes of money.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna pay attention.
but that's like all the almost basic shit that
I'm gonna pay
comes with it
attention
that
to the
costs that
strap
much.
I'll put on my Joy-Con. I'm not gonna take a knife to my Joy-Con when I mess it up.
like
I wasn't
that's why.
gonna buy a Pro
But
controller.
he ended up fixing it.
Okay.
Like legitimately,
And
that's
So
why
now
I'm
he
so
has,
mad.
now he has 4 Joy-Cons and a Pro controller with just Zelda.
And I am not buying an SD card until I am for certain how much space I am gonna use up buying, whether it be indie title or AAA game digitally.
Don't even buy shit
All-
digitally.
All of
Yeah, I
that.
wouldn't.
Well,
Don't buy shit digitally because you're
don't-
gonna fill up your. You only
You
have
don't
27 gigs to play with.
And you
I don't
don't
own
need.
principal, but all my digital, like everything I own digitally, I got it for free, whether it's like reward points or code from work. So
I mean, you don't need
But
anything digital if it's all like native. It's the fucking cartridge, and if everything's like
I mean-
on it.
I mean, yeah, I don't, but I'm not going to turn down a free game, Brian. Like, what?
Yeah, but if that game's 28 gigs, you're fucked.
Well, I'm not.
Well, I mean, if you don't have the SD card, if that game's
Yeah, if you don't have the SD
28
card,
gigs,
yeah.
you're fucked.
Okay. None of that money is getting put in day one. Okay. Where was I at? At first, I was like,
You were talking
Well, a few-
about.
We're in the middle of the sandwich.
yeah, a few ports would have been
Yeah,
nice.
ports. Because Zelda's a port, Brian, because you didn't know that.
All right. Well, for the sake of the argument, a few additional ports would have been fine.
I mean, the next port's Mario Kart. I have no clue why people are so excited for Mario Kart when you just played it.
There's
It'll
more
be
to
Mario
it. But
Kart Special Edition.
What's special about it?
more characters that like weren't included in like the original DLC,
Probably like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it comes with all the season pass content.
and more from that.
Okay, so probably like 3 or 4.
Like you're getting more on top of the season pass
It's a
content.
racing
Brian, go
game,
read an
dude.
article.
It's a racing
and-
game, not a fighting game. It's
I
not.
don't want to read the article. I was joking about a season
Jesus,
pass.
they
You're
play the same.
I didn't realize there was a season pass for Mario Kart.
There wasn't. They released like sporadic DLC packs post production over its release last time, but you're getting all of those. You're getting more on top of that. They've made like in-game changes. You can use 2 items now, like you could in Double Dash, and I think they're adding like more vehicles.
Speaking of Dilk,
Who doesn't love Dilk?
I kind of want to like get all of the Fire Emblem Fates DLC because I just want to at this point. Like I looked up like all the DLC that they've released, and apparently like there's an entire like side story dealing with the children afterwards, and I'd like to play it, and I also would like to play Birthright at a cheaper price.
Wait till it goes on sale, Kappa.
When would it go on sale?
Okay. But the rest of the sandwich before y'all shut me off, because it's prone to happen.
No, go.
Okay.
That was a good sandwich.
We're not done with it. We need that extra saucy bread.
Playing, man. Wait, are we on the lettuce or the tomato?
We're on the
Mayo.
cheese.
Okay.
We're on the cheese.
Okay, I like cheese.
All things considered, it wouldn't
better
have
like this
it
one
wouldn't
too.
have hurt to it wouldn't have hurt to wait 2 weeks.
Hell,
Like,
it wouldn't have hurt to
It
wait.
wouldn't
Shellie,
have
I remember
hurt to- it wouldn't hurt to wait till holiday when this thing should have released because this thing is clearly not ready.
No. It 2 weeks would have been 2 weeks even would have been fine. 2 weeks would have been better marginally. Here's my reason. A bunch of stuff that we got like put out at the presentation was slated for March but not launch, and also for spring. namely April or so, because I think that's when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe drops, like the middle of April. And in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we get the open beta for Splatoon 2. So even without something to purchase, there would have been something past Just Dance, Fast RMX, Zelda, 1-2 Switch, Two Forms of Shovel Knight, and I Am Setsuna.
You say 2 forms of Shovel Knight?
I don't know Shovel Knight, and so like it's Shovel Knight, but with like 2 separate subtitles, and I don't know if it's 2 different games, or I don't know if one's like I don't want to assume one is like Game of the Year for one, and another's like DLC or something, because I haven't played and I don't know Shovel Knight. So
still nothing to play, but people might dabble in those. Maybe like the 1%.
But on top of that, a bunch of titles from the indie showcase were also slated for March, but not a specific day. So I'm willing to give most of them, if not all of them, like about 2 weeks. Like, let's say the week the Splatoon 2 beta happened, you would have had, regardless of popularity, you would have had twice the selection there is now, on top of a demo for a game that's set to come out, let's say April, May, and then Mario Kart like a month out. In addition to any hardware issues that would be in need of resolving, case in point, the left Joy-Con.
No, that won't be fixed till the next year. Because those PlayStation like rubber controllers, like that wasn't fixed for like a year, or almost like half a year.
What was the HDMI thing? Was that from an update?
No, I think that was like an actual hardware thing.
Okay.
Because they were talking about their HDMI ports, like the teeth bending, and that happened on mine.
Ugh.
So I had to get that sent in, and I got a new one. Now I'm on my 3rd PS4.
Oh, okay.
I just want a new Vita, and I'm gonna have to get a new PS4 eventually because mine's starting to do some crazy shit.
Mine's fine, except when YouTube's
open,
closing YouTube.
I know, it's doing the same thing to me. I don't know what they did in that new update, but it is fucking with my.
I mean, it's been doing that for months though.
It's only been doing it for like a month and a half for me.
I guess something else for the middle of the sandwich. And this will probably be like the last middle. I guess probably the meat of it. Definitely features.
Is that the bad or the good?
That's coming out of the bad.
Okay, I was about to say that's gotta be the bad.
Before I get to the last part of bread. Yeah, now, like, I watched the video you shared earlier, and I kind of felt where old dude was coming from. But like, I'm gonna be completely honest. As far as the Switch goes, I don't care about Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, whatever.
George, it doesn't matter what you care about.
Well, no, I know.
Because see, for some people, they may not have a PS4 or something like that.
You're right. No, I get you. I'm saying, let me say
that is, George, that's basic shit. George, your phone has it.
Whoa. You asked me for my impressions.
I know. I'm just saying.
I know it. Now, personally, I could care less for them, and I could understand Nintendo not wanting to push for them, because at the end of the day, you want something that plays games. Like, you can agree with me on that, right? Even if not 100%, like.
No, I just want something to watch porn on.
Something that plays games. Brian, we all know you're a sexual deviant. Go get help, Brian.
I just need something to watch my illegal anime on. Don't watch illegal anime.
But that being said, YouTube, Twitch, things like those that could play in or implement into the whole gaming centric focus of the Switch wouldn't hurt. Who's listening to Roundabout?
Yeah, who's listening to Roundabout? Because I was like, no.
I have Toonami on.
Oh god.
Oh. How's that dub going?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't watching it.
Bro, the dub racist AF, but that's for another topic.
You say it was racist?
I was cracking on the accents.
I swear, Funimation be getting me sometimes with accents. All you had to do was give Kizaru an Italian accent. That's all you had to do.
They made him black.
Jesus.
They made him Don Kananji.
It was right there for you to do it. See, now I'm scared. Wait, I can't remember what they did with Capone.
No, they didn't make him Don Kananji. They made Aokiji Don Kananji.
That made no sense. Why
Aokiji's black,
so
though.
redneck. But he's so redneck.
But he's black. That guy's black.
And
They got a black guy to do a black guy's voice.
I don't care.
Yeah, but
What about the good, George? Leave me with something good.
I hadn't gotten out the bag yet. This is what I was talking about.
Let's get past the pickles.
Hey, you started this with mentioning Roundabout.
I did. That is my fault. But yeah, something to the extent of YouTube, Twitch. Honestly, I didn't care for Miiverse. I would be fine with having Miiverse back or some kind of variant.
Wait, that doesn't have it now?
Nah.
Why did they get rid of it?
They
Was
may
it
not have
because
gotten
it's
rid
like
of it. They
PlayStation
probably just
Home?
haven't put it in there. You never know.
It's true. Miiverse may also be being implemented in an update because I don't even remember if we got Miiverse
I
immediately.
don't know.
With
It has
Wii
no
U.
features.
I don't know, man. Like,
Can
I
you
would love
really
to have-
send messages on that thing?
Nah, I imagine that'll be through that app whenever that drops.
That is complete bullshit.
I would love to have a fully realized Switch, but until then, I will gladly keep my money in my pocket.
If you want to play Zelda, go play it on Wii U.
No, I don't want to buy a Wii U. That's a piece of shit.
I mean, I told it. Wow,
He's not wrong.
all them times you asked me to bring it over,
I know.
so you can
I like
get bopped,
Smash.
so you can get bopped in Smash 4.
That's the only one I know how to play.
But anyway,
Though I did run a nice Zero suit in Melee. Or was it Brawl? Brawl.
Xerxes wasn't in it.
I was like, which one had Zero suit? I was like, no, wait, that's Brawl.
But yeah, bagging back on the statement is probably just not in yet because I can remember like not having a lot of things available when the Wii U was first out. I guess to the second piece of bread and back to Bias George. Real talk, there's a lot of potential and the social aspect isn't as abysmal as it seems. Yeah, the messaging. Hold on, because my computer's falling asleep. All right, there we go. Yeah, the messaging function, which I mean, we'll know how that's gonna go yet until this proprietary app drops.
When does that release?
I don't remember. I have to go back and look. The ability to locate friends isn't actually that hard, provided they also have a Switch, which if they don't have a Switch, you wouldn't be adding them in the first place. Because there was a lot of talk about the whole friend code thing. But what Nintendo also actually does, if you have a Nintendo account and you've been playing like anything recently, like if you have a Nintendo account, it's linked to the Nintendo Network ID. Yeah, it'll let you know what they're playing on the Switch, but also if they've been, it expands even to the mobile platform. So if they've been playing like Mitomo, Super Mario Run, Fire Emblem Heroes, it lets you know that too. And based off Link Nintendo account IDs and your like Mitomo friends list, it'll suggest these people to you the same way like PSN or Facebook is like, hey, here's people you may know, add them. So they did give a bit of they did give a bit of ease onto how to locate and add your friends.
You don't want to use friend codes anymore?
There are still friend codes, but
Fucking
you don't have to use it.
Let's see.
Pretty much if you own anything outside of what's on your Switch, then you can just add other people based on like whether you know them on Mitomo or whether you know them on Fire Emblem Heroes or so on or so forth.
Well, at least that's nice.
Yeah.
Now, how many people like you think know that information?
More than we think, less than who should.
50.
At least 50.
2.
52 was that what the 2 was for?
No, just 2.
No.
I was gonna be like 200. I was like, no, 2.
George and someone else.
George and now us. That makes 3.
That makes 3.
Nah, the other people I've added no, because that's how they found me.
They're bots.
They're bots.
They're company executives. They need friends because no one bought their
Friend us, George.
It's Miyamoto. Like, oh, why is no one buying my console?
Anyway,
I don't get the point in friending people if you can't do anything with it right now.
Miyamoto's
a pizza right now.
Well, that comes to my next point.
May as well left it out.
Miyamoto's like, well, no one's really buying my console. Guess I'll friend this black guy.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into my next point. The
Yeah, they're George.
Central, really. I was choking on my drink.
Oh, it's okay. That happens a lot.
What?
What?
I choke on my tears sometimes.
That's weird.
Bet you do, boy. I bet you do.
How do you get them to your mouth?
Wow.
Effort. Gravity also.
There's gonna be a really good lineup projected in the form of ARMS, the Splatoon sequel, a crap ton of Fire Emblem support.
You mentioned before that there was a delay in Joy-Cons. Now, is that just Zelda or is that for the entire Switch?
I've been hearing about it I've been hearing about it happening most in Zelda, and it's an in-game thing because it hasn't happened to me, and there have been no reports I've read of it happening in the menus.
Well, that's a good thing, I guess, because I'm worried about games like ARMS specifically for that, or 1-2 Switch, because if there's a delay, you got a fucking problem.
Well, I mean, the community is gonna play them on pro controllers and fight sticks anyway. I don't know what you expected.
I heard they released a statement about don't play around microwaves. Cell phones might interfere with your Joy-Con signal. Pretty much anything mechanically. Something that don't put your Switch next to something that uses USB 3.0.
Basically,
Where's that at?
any type of
magnet.
magnet.
Did you do any research and development?
Where's the statement?
I don't know.
Show me the Carfax.
Let me get a link. I'm just gonna throw out some info like that and not have the receipts, dog.
Bruh. Naruto. How good do you think the new Boruto manga can be?
Not at all.
I mean, it'll
I
be
think
fun. At the very least, I think it'll be fun.
if it's scaled down, it can definitely be better than Shippuden. It
It won't
definitely
be.
better in the second half.
It won't be better than Shippuden. Because they're powering them up again. They're setting Boruto up to be more powerful.
But they don't have to create planetary devastation.
They do
But
though.
they will.
I know.
That's the only way they can draw attention. You can't go back after an attack like that. After attacks like that in Shippuden, you just can't. Everything has to top everything else to make it more interesting. Because if you downgrade, people are going to be like, well, where's the big robot bullshit? I don't know why I said robot bullshit, but I don't know.
Okay. Addressing some known connectivity issues with the
No,
switching
send it to
Joy-Con.
me.
Oh, okay. Hold on. This is from The Verge. Hey, you're gonna love the title. Shit got me.
Is that I better switch out my money for something else? Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Nintendo cautioned that nearby wireless devices may cause interference, preventing the Joy-Con from pairing to the main system properly or registering the correct controls. A list of locations where Nintendo suggests that you shouldn't use the Switch console includes
Is it a movie?
within 3 to 4 feet of another wireless device, such as wireless speakers or a wireless access point behind the TV, in or under a metal object, or near an aquarium.
Oh, you can't play Nintendo Switch under some hoops, I guess.
Wait, near an aquarium?
Like, why?
That's oddly. Who's taking their Switch to an aquarium?
Wait, you know what they mean, like fish tanks and shit.
It might make the fish mad.
Additionally, sources
Who's
of
putting their
interference.
Switch near an aquarium?
Wait. Additionally, sources of interference include devices most people own. The full list is below: cell phones, laptops, tablets, etc. Wireless headsets, wireless printers, microwaves, wireless speakers, cordless phones, and USB 3.0 compatible devices.
What about my car? Can I put it in my car, for God's sake?
Did you do any research and development? Any.
It's gonna be like Pokemon Go over again. People will be playing Switch in the street.
They said, "No, we can't. We can't delay we can't delay the Switch. We've already delayed Zelda twice just so they can come with the Switch, because that shit was ready for Wii U a long time ago."
No one.
Yeah, it was.
It was not ready.
That shit was ready.
It was not ready. I don't believe you.
They delayed it for the Switch. That shit was ready.
But yeah.
Oh
Back to
god,
Boruto.
Nintendo cracks me up.
I'm just not. I'm not as excited for Boruto as I could be. I want it to be like something scaled down, but they won't do it. I'm interested to see if he gets character growth, but that's it.
I mean, he's already gotten some character growth.
Yeah, in the movie.
I mean, well, in the movie, also in the manga, technically. So, because the movie's the manga. Also, the show is gonna have to redo the movie. They're gonna have.
Oh no, it will.
See, until he put in that part in the last chapter, they could have skipped it. Now they have to do it. But apparently the anime is gonna start before the movie, so maybe they'll do Sarada's 10-chapter thing first.
They probably will. It'll be like, "Who's my mom?" And it'll be like, "I don't know."
Every halfway point is gonna be like, "Who's this mom? It's Ino."
Wait, yeah. I'm sorry, I just got like really sleepy for a second. Let's talk about Logan.
That's not my name.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Just say whether or not it was good, and then we'll move on.
No,
Everyone knows
I
how
have to
good
give.
it is.
I'll go into some depth. I won't give spoilers.
No depth.
Logan was so fucking good.
Well, that was a good review.
No, shut up.
Give us very vague.
Don't worry. I know I'm a writer. I can do this.
Can you?
So, as a fan, well, and and as a non-fan of like the X-Men franchise, because I'm
You
not
don't like the X-Men franchise?
I like superhero movies really.
Oh yeah.
Except Marvel, like some of the stuff Marvel like cranks out, like appeals to me.
That's because they have a formula that just appeals to casual people.
Yeah, and like this is a movie that like.
We just called you a casual.
No,
That's exactly
I'm
what he is.
completely. That's exactly what I am in terms of superhero placement.
You filthy casual.
Now, but yeah, like I said, I haven't been following the franchise like long at all. I think the only movies I've seen have been all Wolverine movies, like Origins, and then
Really?
I watched
the only ones you've seen were the Wolverine movies. The horrible one, the decent one, and now the great one.
I would say fantastic one.
Not the first X-Men, which was awesome. Not the second X-Men, that was fucking great. Not X-Men: The Last Stand, which is awful. Not,
where are you going with
First Class, which is my absolute favorite of the X-Men films.
First Class was good.
I love.
I can't sit through it. I hate it.
I love First Class.
I can't. I've like watched it like the same. I've watched it disjointed so many times, and I just can't sit through the whole thing. It's
like
not
everyone
my thing.
praises Days of Future Past. I don't really like Days of Future Past. Everyone, like it should just be common knowledge that First Class is better than Days of Future Past. Mainly because they made it about Wolverine.
Well, like, here's the thing. This movie, like, the reason I wanted to see it, and like this joke has been made 1,000 times. It's exactly like The Last of Us in terms of like concept, and it appealed to me in that sense because I want to see a Last of Us movie that's not happening ever in my lifetime.
It's in development hell.
In my lifetime,
along with the MGS film.
In my lifetime,
they're not even working on that.
They're not. They won't ever work on that again.
Yeah, we're getting right on that. Just go get me some coffee.
But this film, like, I walked in expecting to enjoy it because I heard it was really good.
And instead,
it blew me away. I'll be real honest. Like, it's been a long time since I've gone to a theater and just seen like a tight, like, really carefully crafted film. Like this. It was tight knit. The story was good. Characterization for everybody was fantastic. The main girl, she does not get a lot of lines.
I can believe that.
But like for like 3/4 of the movie, she doesn't talk. Jesus Christ.
One, that's probably because No,
I'm not giving anything away. But
no, I'm just saying it's probably because of her character. 2, she's a child actor.
Really good child actor, I do say. Like when she talks, it's not weird. Like that's the thing. Like it's not like they like did it on purpose. Well, they did do it on purpose, but it's not like they didn't do it to like avoid her talking to her. She talks like she acts very well. Like she's a good actress, and I'm glad that they got her.
She's a good facial actress.
I told Alexis, because that's who I went with. I told her I named her Squawk because like her thing whenever she would do a fighting move for like the first like
X-23, I don't know. Sir.
Huh?
She's X-23.
No, I named her Squawk.
It doesn't matter what you say.
Also, her name's Laura. No, just Laura.
But she's okay.
She's tiny, just like Laura.
Oh.
Damn. But no, I named her Squawks because every time she would do like a leaping attack or like she'd like jump at somebody, she'd go, ah! And she'd do like this little scream, like this little kid scream, and I was like, oh my god, shit, this is the only noise I've heard her make is just screaming and squawking. And I was like, she's like a fucking falcon, and that entertained me to no end. But honest to God, guys, like they should have made an R-rated Wolverine movie a long time ago. But I'm glad that this is the one that they did it with because it fits the story so well. Like the gratuitous violence, like this is a heavy like.
It's the only one that probably would have, actually warranted the R rating.
It works, and like they immediately like tell you like it's an R-rated film. Like they start off with like the first line in the entire movie is "fuck." Like, he wakes up and he's like "fuck," and it just goes from there. And but the thing about it is that, like even though it's like super hyper violent, and it's like I love Wolverine's fighting style, and I love how brutal the movie is. Like George, you play Metal Gear Solid 4, right?
Nope.
Well, this is exactly that game. Like, there's actually a shit ton of parallels between MGS4 and this movie.
But I thought there were a bunch of parallels between it and The Last of Us.
There are, but there's also a lot of like story elements from MGS4. Specifically, the tale of redemption, the final fight sequence.
George, he's trying to spoil us.
It's a tale of redemption. The final fight sequence was similar to MGS4.
Look at that. I know he's going to be redeemed.
But I don't even know the I'm kidding. I do know the final fight sequence to MGS4.
And like just a lot of subtle like things that like and it's not like they were like directly influenced by it, and maybe they were, I don't know, but there was a lot of similarities between Metal Gear Solid 4 and The Last of Us, for obvious reasons, and you'll see once you watch the movie you'll understand what I mean. But that's not a bad thing. If anything, like it holds it back because it doesn't hold it back. It promotes the film, and it makes the characterization of Logan that much better because like when you see Snake's journey through MGS4, like I think like MGS4 was like more tame than Logan was in terms of characterization for Snake, because Logan, it really drives like how how fucked up he is in his head. And I don't know. Like, I really like seeing a really likable character in his own right, like just be dragged through the mud like that, and it was enjoyable. And I love my tragedies and I love my human drama, and I won't lie, like there was a few moments where I got like really touched and like emotional. I didn't cry.
Where did the film touch you?
In my Kokoro.
Did it go Doki Doki?
It went, but no.
Right.
So,
I
there was one scene in the movie though, like I legit like heard someone across from me cry. Like I heard them like audibly sobbing like loudly, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" And I was like, "It's sad, but it's not like moving me to tears." Like, and I also like expected the movie to be a tragedy when I went into it, so I was like, I was already predisposed to it being sad, so I was like, okay, this happens and this happens, I'm gonna take it in stride. Like I don't like that this is happening, but it's okay that it is, and I like it, and it's enjoyable and it's necessary. The last thing I'll say in terms of like plot is that the villains aren't overdone. None of them are like super hammy. None of them like stand out too much because this is Logan's film. It's Wolverine's film. The focus remains on him, and I will say like whenever they have like super hyper violent like action sequences that are like an adrenaline fest, the writers of this movie, like they did a really good job with its quiet moments too, like where the falling action and the times of like silent reflection. I know what you're doing. Stop it.
You said the quiet moments.
Yeah, and
okay, I'm sorry.
I really appreciate it, like how like when they wanted the film to be quiet and reflective and pensive, the film was quiet, reflective, and pensive, and it wasn't like in your face, like super preachy. It was human, and it made sense, and it made you feel good. Like, those were feel-good moments. And not always, but this is a very human film, and I liked seeing, like, these characters that we basically, well, you guys have, I haven't, grown up with since X-Men 1. Like, they're put through the ringer, and they're just being humans. Like, it's the most human I've ever seen, like, an X-Men film or a superhero film in general be. Because well, I'm not going to go into that. I'll just leave that little plot point out.
Look at that butt.
But yeah, it's a story of redemption, and it's a story of acceptance, and that's all I'll say. And it was a great film, very well done, well choreographed. The music was great and not too in your face. It was hype when it needed to be, soft when it needed to be. Acting was on point from everybody, really. The only one I didn't like too much, because like he felt like he was just giving like an performance, was like the kind of true villain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He seemed a little bit phoned in and like cheesy, but like the general, like, I'll say main protagonist, or I mean not protagonist, antagonist of the film, like I enjoyed his performance. He gave out a good guy, not a good guy, but a good performance. I'm glad I saw this movie, and I recommend everybody at home to go see this film. Don't take your 8-year-old to it, or don't take your 5-year-old, because there were 8-year-olds and 5-year-olds watching this F-bomb laced and like stabby Mick in the eyes, Mick fucking face film.
Mick, what?
I've heard that.
They stab the fuck out of people.
It was like when we saw children go into Deadpool. I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to stop beating you now. I don't know when I'll stop.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah. I was so mad. I walked out of the theater and I told Alexis, I was like, there are 8-year-olds in here. They're traumatized. She's like, it's okay. I saw inappropriate things. Like, I watched I don't know what she named a comedy that she had seen. I was like, but that's a comedy. Like, that it was Spaceballs. She's like, that's a comedy, and even though it has inappropriate humor and language in it, like, that's not going to scar you for life. Like, this is stuff that, like, I would have cringed at if I was in high school. Like, I wasn't used to being exposed to stuff like this for a while. Like, my first M-rated game was when I was like 16.
My first M-rated game was when I was like 9.
Exactly.
It was Family Guy. Well, no, actually, technically, my first M-rated game was Mortal Kombat 3. So, when I was, I don't know, 6.
But yeah, don't take your kids to see this, please, because they're not old enough to appreciate it, and honestly, they're not old enough to understand it. Like, why it's being so hyper-violent, and to be able to process, like, that's not the normal standard. I don't know. That bugged me. Especially as, like, someone who wants to do, like, family and marital therapy. Like, do a better job. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is it's 12:30.
Yeah, it is. I was just about to.
I'm gonna call an emergency shutdown of the podcast because I'm sleepy as hell. Because I've had a rough night.
Yeah, some of us have to work in the morning.
Yeah, and I gotta go to church too.
Yeah, but you can skip to that.
No.
That's what I do. We went to church for school like every Thursday, and okay, like they had all the seniors sitting in the middle because we had it in the gym because we didn't have a church at our high school, so we had it in the gym. All the seniors are like sitting in the middle of the court because we have our own chairs and shit, and everyone else just in bleachers. So, like halfway through the homily and shit, I'd always fall asleep just because like the air is hitting us and my eyes getting heavy.
What
And
about the hominy?
I said the homily. Jesus, don't
The
you know
hominy. The hominy.
don't you know what the homily is? You're half.
No,
you're
the
half,
homina,
you're
homina,
half
homina, homina,
Catholic.
homina, homina, homina.
That's why I use that term with you.
Isn't hominy like cauliflower or something?
Oh, I don't know. Table
Like a
for
vegetable?
homina.
Oh God.
What's that from?
What table for homina?
Isn't that SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was saying,
Homina, 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 homina. Do you see this wallet?
your
I love those memes of that like exact conversation when they're talking about like the Switch or something else.
Yeah, that's just funny. Near an aquarium.
Don't play your Switch in an aquarium.
Okay.
The fishes will get mad.
Okay. I went to the statement from them, and it's like, all right, 3 to 4 feet, dog. 3 to 4 feet. Nobody's asking you to toss your stuff. Just move it over. And real talk,
Put it directly in the aquarium.
real talk. I had mine sitting next to a router, which is an access point, and on top. Well, not on top, but like just above a PS4.
Yeah, but the PS4 doesn't use 3.0 USB.
True, for shame. But yeah, and it was great.
So all you can do is move a fish tank next to it, and you'll be fucked.
But yeah, nah, like move that over.
But yeah, I think that's enough. I'm ready to call it a night.
Oh, you want me to tell you the rules of Super right quick? It won't take that long.
Okay, what are the rules of Super's new tournament art?
Okay, well, obviously,
Yeah, that thing I promised people we'd talk about.
Yeah, Goku beat the guy. There was a little stipulation in this one because they tried to make Goku the bad guy. Well, that guy did, which actually succeeded. But if he beat Goku, they would have taken away the stipulation that they would have blown up the losing team's universes. But Goku had to go all out because if he didn't, they would have just erased all the universes anyway. So no, okay. The rules are it's gonna be one match of every team in the ring at the same time. It's gonna be a battle royal. It's gonna last 48 minutes. You have to get thrown out the ring. When you get thrown out the ring, there you go. The team with the most members left at the end wins. You can't kill, and there's no weapons.
Oh, that's no fun.
But if
That means they can't.
if your universe loses, they still get destroyed.
But that's as good as killing, so I don't know.
I was like, aren't you killing right there? I mean, well, you may as well just kill them.
But like that's boring as shit if there's no killing. They have to change that because like, how else are we gonna get a Krillin power up?
Krillin's not going to get a power up.
How else are we gonna get a 17 power up?
See, you can't win by being knocked out. You can't there's no submission, nothing like that. You have to get pushed outside of the ring, which now justifies Master Roshi and all these weaker people being in there. It's more of a strategy thing now.
I just want Vegeta to someone to kill Bulma.
What?
I just want someone to kill. I just want someone to kill Bulma so Vegeta gets a power up.
What did Bulma do to?
All someone has to do is breathe on Bulma and he'll get a power up.
No, they need to kill her.
No, it don't take all that.
No, they need to kill her. She needs to die.
Also, it looks like Goku can control the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken form in this episode, but to be fair, he didn't go times 10.
Did he just do ×1?
Yeah, it was just regular Kaioken.
Okay.
So I still don't know if that drawback happens.
Maybe he'll be able to, do the Super Saiyan God form again with the red hair.
Who knows?
I need him to do that
Who
again. That was a
knows?
cool ass form.
I think you knows.
All right, stream's done. Good night, everybody.
I'm tired and I want to go home. Everybody, I'm tired and I want to go home. Just